Hi guys, Coach Jose here again. Hey, I'm excited about this session right here. I want to let you know that hopefully you followed some steps in the process and stuff of some of the stuff that we've talked about over this probably for most families about 3 to 6 months at this point. Let's talk about very specifics on what you need to get for SAT, ACT, GPA. The reason I don't start with this is because I want you guys to start big and narrow your way down. And one of the things that I like you to do is academically know kind of where you need to be. First off, I would say anything over a 3.5 GPA is going to get you academic money. As I mentioned earlier in this process, the average baseball scholarship is 25% at the Division I level. 35-man roster, 11.7 scholarships. So I think grades are pretty important. Matter of fact, they're very important. Every university is different. Every school is different, whether it be a state school, NAI school, Division I. But most schools, if you have a 3.5 GPA or better, you're going to get a pretty good chunk of academic money. So I would say that is the most important thing in terms of GPA. Now, if you want to go to Harvard or Stanford or Yale or some of those Ivy League schools, the higher academic schools, obviously 3.5 is not going to cut it. You want to shoot for a 4.0, but 3.5 generally, after the thousands of kids and students that I've worked with, has given them a bunch of academic money to balance out whatever athletic money they receive. SAT scores, the new SAT scores, you're looking at least 1,700. ACT schools, ACT scores are a little bit different. Now again, as I'm doing this video, things change and I'll try to get updated the best I can, which each university is looking for a different score there, so I'm not going to give you a specific number of what we need to do. Now, again, prepare, study, take a class, put yourself in a position to be successful. The more academic money you can get, maybe the less it costs mom and dad, but more importantly, if you can get 50% academically and 25% athletically, now all of a sudden you're going to get a college tuition paid for in 4 or 5 years and enjoy playing the game of baseball and have very little to no debt because you're willing to put the time and effort and work that you need to be able to do. So a little bit of the grades, a little bit of the SATs I want to touch on there. Now, as you go look back at your tracking list and the people that you've communicated with from university, school, and everything, now you can kind of see where you kind of fit. Because at this point, some of them may or may not have asked, what are your grades, what are your SATs? And what you want to do is at this point, get transcripts right where you're at right now. Don't just tell them where you're at, you want to prove to them where you're at. And again, don't put in an attachment, but in one of the emails you communicate with, send them their transcripts so it actually shows them the real GPA. I have a lot of college recruiters that call me every single week looking at our players and say, what are his grades, what are his grades? And they'll say 3.6, they get the transcripts, halfway into discussions about scholarships, and then a 3.2, and that changes everything for a college recruiter. So be upfront and show them really what you have. So after you get done that, let's talk about a little bit, switching gears here, about unofficial visits. If you've communicated, you've went to a camp, or you're really thinking about it and you've talked to people, think about taking an unofficial trip to see the campus, whether it be during a Christmas break or summer or fall, just to get a better feel for the program. And it doesn't have to be someplace far away. It doesn't have to be a school that you're really interested in. The whole purpose of this is to just get you a feel for how college recruiting goes. So it could be to a local junior college. It could be to a local four-year school. And what this does is when you get on an official visit, it puts you in a position to feel like, does this coach really want me? Or is he just running through the system just trying to get more and more kids here? What I found out, the more that you go on, that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg and cost you thousands of dollars, you just get a better feel for the recruiting process and how it works. And so my challenge to you over this next period of time is to take some unofficial visits that don't cost you an arm and a leg. It could be local, or if you have the money and you're interested in a specific school, go ahead and go to there and just get a feel for a few of those visits. And then what I talked about last session is follow-ups, tracking, get more specific on grades and SATs and kind of what scholarship money that's going to get, and then do some unofficial visits and just get a feel for campus visits and recruiting visits and see how those things go. Even if you're a sophomore or junior, just get a feel for that, because the more you do that, once we get it narrowed down to a few schools, which we will, because many factors that come into play into that is you're going to have a good feel for what's the best fit for you. And that's our goal through this program, is find the best fit for you. Look forward to helping you. Take this advice, stay consistent with it. I'll follow up in the next video very soon with you.